So to start with, first I would request our guest here to keep their phone on silent mode so that the press conference can go on without any disturbance. Thank you. So I would first like to introduce you with the director of Sluggard Clan. It's a Slovak movie. Here we have with us Mr. Rastislav Boros. He's the director, producer, as well as screenplay writer. And his movie did the world premiere, had its world premiere here in the prestigious stage of IFFI. Congratulations.
Hello.
For that.
Hello.
We also have Mr. Adam Okolikani, the editor, Mr. Thomas Wierzbicki, director of photography, and Michael Lozonsky, architect and member of production team of the movie. Welcome. So I would like to introduce, this film is being screened under the Cinema of the World category. And as I've said, it did its world premiere today. Next, I would go to director Belkis Bayrak from Turkey. Welcome. Her film did its Asia premiere in IFFI. Earlier, it has been screened at Toronto Film Festival, Tallinn Film Festival. And it's the story of a young girl. It's from Turkey. And this film is vying for the Golden Peacock in the international competition category of the festival. Welcome. So let's see the trailer of the movie first.
Sırf evlendiğine mi seviniyorsun? Kendime ait bir düzen kuracağıma seviniyorum.
Kızım, yuvamıza hoş geldin. Artık burası senin evin.
Oğlum kızım bir derdi bir sıkıntısı var. Hala hal değil demedi değil mi?
Gülizar dün yolda gelirken biriyle tartışmış. Adam darp etmiş.
Sen şimdi bu adam bulunca ne yapacaksın?
Onu gördüm.
Eğer Emre öğrenirse her şey çok daha kötü olur.
Öyle mi evlenecektik?
Ben sonra kapattım bu konuyu dedim.
Benim de kapatmam lazım. Artık geçti Gülizar. Önümüze bakacağız.
Thank you. So that's Gülizar. That's Gülizar, the Turkish movie about a young girl. So let's meet with the director of our third film. We have with us Ms. Faize Azizkhani, director and writer of Iranian film Fear and Trembling. It's a film directed by two women directors. They are very well known in their country. Ms. Manije Hekmat is the other director, and we have Faiz with us, Faize. We also have the film's producer with us here in the auditorium.
Yes.
So, yes, Mr. Ahmed Azizkhani is also present. Thank you. This film is also in the international competition category of IFFI. It's also vying for the Golden Peacock. So let's see the trailer of Fear and Trembling as well.
جهنم هر چی شدی به جهنم. من آبروی حیثیتمو نمیدم برای شما، دین و ایمونمو نمیدم برای شما. یه عمر چه بزرگی کردم، بزرگتون کردم. وقت نه خدا میشناسی نه پیغمبر. دختر تو سر و پا ول کردی لخت تو خیابون، حالا گرفتنش اومدی سراغ من نمیتونم کاری بکنم. چه کار کنم؟
روسری اون بچه
لخت
خودش
بودن
افتاده
دیگه.
بوده.
روسریش خودش افتاده، روسری خودش میفته.
اصلا ول کنین حرفا رو. من برای اینکه اون بچه رو الان بیارم بیرون سند میخوام. الان میگی چی کار کنم؟ خواهر من الان به سند تو احتیاج دارم. اینو
این تهران به
میفهمی؟
این بزرگی برو یه سند دیگه پیدا.
Okay, nice. So that's Fear and Trembling for you. So we'll start with the Sluggard Clan, the film from the beautiful land of Slovakia. So we have a poster of the film, although we don't have the trailer. So there's the poster for you. So I would just say in short about the movie. Then we'll hear about it from the director himself. It is based somewhere in the hills of central Slovakia, where three brothers live lost in time, dreams, and folly, blurring the boundaries between the real world and that of the late ancestors. It's an allegorical fresco about love beyond the grave, where the poetics of magical realism confronts the Nazi and the communist past of the Slovak nation. Our director here had his debut feature, Stanko, which was released in 2015. And in 2022, he followed it up with Goldilocks and The Glorious Losers. So let's hear about the Sluggard Clan from the director himself. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I came from a very small country in the Central Europe. Our population is 5 million people, so this is population of the smallest Indian city, I think. And when I decided to shoot this movie, I wanted to find something I call to myself soul of my nation, of people of my nation, because our country is a very young country, very young state. We are only 30 years independent country, and we live together with Czech Republic for about 50 years. And before we was part of Austria-Hungary monarchy. So in my country, people are mixed of nationalities, many other nationalities. So when I decided to shoot movie, I thought to myself that I want to find authentic something. What is authentic for my people? I know that most of you don't know where is Slovakia, but for me it was very important. So this is one aspect of my motivation, what to shoot, and I must say, when I was thinking how to shoot this movie, I decided to not shoot it like illusion of reality, because I am kind of filmmaker that doesn't believe that movie must to imitate reality. So I decided to shoot this movie as metaphor, as allegory, and my movie is more my dream as the reality of my countries, because I believe that we can find true better through metaphor than to imitating reality. So yeah.
Thank you so much. So the movie is your child, you said. So we'll take questions from the audience later. First, let me go through the other two movies. Let us hear from the directors about their projects. So Gülizar. Okay, so Gülizar is the story about a 22-year-old girl raised in a strict Turkish household full of taboos and expectations, longs to experience what lies beyond the only world that she and the women around her have known. Gülizar's fairy tale, however, tragically turns into a nightmare when she is sexually assaulted en route. She was to get married and start a new life in Kosovo. Told through the gaze of a woman yearning for her own internal locus of control, Gülizar delves into the complexities of trauma, societal expectations, and the universal search for self-discovery and determination. So Belkis Bayrak here, she's the writer-director of the movie. She has her own production house, Saba Films, which was started in 2018 and has so far made 2 short films, The Apartment, which released in 2018, and Semil, which released in 2020. She's also an alumnus of the Torino Film Lab, Reclaim the Frames Filmonomics program, and a member of the European Women's Audiovisual Network. So let's hear about the movie from the director herself.
When I was having my film and television master education in university, my script tutor just told me that he has a story and he would like to turn it to a movie if only I wrote and directed. But it was very, very different from the version you have seen in the film. It was just a little story. Yes, because he laughed because I think he knows what happens. Director starts to work on a project, and it was during pandemic. Pandemic was bad time for the film sector, but for this film it was nice time because with this isolated time I have quite spent time to work on the story and the script. And it was always designed as a film between 2 countries, but the other side was not clear. So I decided to make this film in Kosovo. And after this pandemic period, we shoot the film. But as a whole, I can say it took 5 years for me to make it. Thank you.
Thank you. Now about Fear and Trembling, coming from another beautiful country, Iran. Director Faize Azazkani is present with us. But there are 2 women directors of the film. Manije Hekmat is not present. So it's the story of an older woman who is set in her rigid ways and beliefs and has been ostracized by her family and now has a lonely existence. One day, she suddenly receives a call from her sister. Her niece has been arrested for not wearing a hijab. Despite implorations from her family, Manzar sticks to her fundamentalist beliefs. Her niece, an unbeliever, ought to be punished for the sin she's committed. Finding herself all alone in a changing world and increasingly racked by fear and guilt, Manzar begins to pray for heavenly deliverance. And let's hear about the movie from the director herself.
سلام میکنم اول خدمت همتون. مرسی از اینکه در واقع فیلم رو دیدید و امیدوارم که با فیلم ارتباط خوبی برقرار کرده باشین. جای منیژه حکمت، کارگردان دیگه فیلم که به نظر من یکی از آدمای مهم سینماست، خالیه و حیف که حضور نداره.
Thank you all for coming here. It's a pleasure to be in front of all of you. And I'm not sure who has seen the movie, but those who have seen, I hope you've enjoyed the movie. And the other producer, who's Manija Hekmat, who's not here, her place is empty. We wish she was here, but anyways, she has done a great job. She's one of the most powerful writers and directors of the country. So we wish to see her in the future, but for now, yes, thank you so much.
فیلم درباره در واقع یک تعصب بزرگیه که صدام بده وایی فیلم درباره در واقع زنیه که با تعصب رنج تولید میکنه برای خودش و برای دیگران و در نهایت تنها و سرگردونه.
The movie is actually about a woman, those who've seen, who holds a very strong belief, a very basic and extreme belief, which causes her to be very alone and in torture, without family, cut from the other side of the world, no social life, nothing. And that those beliefs are the cause and the root of being her alone. So
چیزی که میتونم بگم این که شرایط ساخت فیلم خیلی شرایط سختی بود. اسم فیلم ترس و لرزه و میتونم بگم که ما هم توی شرایط با ترس و لرز فیلم رو ساختیم.
as the name of the movie is Fear and Trembling, that itself explains how we made the movie itself. Because making such a controversial movie or story is not easy in a country that's obviously has its own challenges. So the Fear and Trembling was the whole process of making this film itself. We had the fear, we were trembling of every step of the making of this movie. So that's something that explains it all.
انگیزه من برای ساخت در واقع انگیزه‌ای که ما برای ساخت این فیلم داریم انگیزه‌ایه که به خاطرش داریم زندگی میکنیم. هم من که در واقع 2 نسل بعدتر از خانم حکمت محسوب میشم، هم خانم حکمت که من ازش یاد میگیرم. اصلا با این انگیزه زندگی میکنه، با این انگیزه فیلم میسازه. تمام فیلماش در واقع و تمام فیلمایی که من دارم کار میکنم توسط انگیزه در واقع انگیزه نگاه عمیق به جامعه‌ای که توش زندگی میکنیم هدایت میشه.
The reason behind making this movie, since there are two directors. She's one of them, and Manisha Hikmat, who's from an older generation, like the character in the movie itself. So they two bring two perspectives of the society in one movie. So that's the whole concept of making this movie, so that everybody knows from two perspectives. Now that shows the loneliness of someone who holds a very strong belief, which she thinks that's right. That's the truth. And who's not even willing to help the closest of family because of the beliefs that she has. She's willing to, in the movie, she's willing to give away the house to a mosque, but not to help the closest of the family to get out of the prison. So that brings the whole two perspectives into one movie, and that's the whole reason, so that others know from two sides.
Okay, thank you for briefing us about the movies. Now we will open the floor for questions. Yes, madam.
Thank you. My name is Runa, and I work with India's national television broadcaster Doordarshan. My question is to both Ms. Aziz Khani and Ms. Bayrak. As women filmmakers, coming from the cultures that you do, where you go up against a lot more just by virtue of being a woman, how much more difficult is it for you to get funding for your projects?
Okay, would Ms. Bayrak like to take it first?
From my experience, I think it's mostly the prejudice of our industry, because when I started to, tell the people that I have a project, I'm planning to film it, everybody was saying that, do you think you will get any fund from the ministry and some other levels? But I was sure, because I said that if I can express my intention well enough, I think it will not be a problem. But then lately I discovered that, yes, because it's funded by the both Kosovo and Turkey official, funding institutions. But during the making the film, post-production, I always understand that this mansplaining comes from our industry, not the cultural institutions itself. So in that sense, yes, it was tough to finish the film. But at the end now, I'm happy, I'm here, and the film is, traveling around.
فائزه؟
ما در واقع میتونم بگم که از این بگذاریم که زن بودن به طور کلی چقدر سخته. بدون هیچ بودجه کار کردیم و اینو من میتونم بگم که ایمان و شهامت اینجور کار کردن رو از منیژه حکمت داریم و ما تقریبا به طور خیلی جدی با پول توی جیبمون کار کردیم و تمام آدم هایی که حضور داشتن یه چیزی وسط گذاشتن و با تو کمترین زمان ما تونستیم فیلمو کار کنیم که میگم واقعا اینو من فکر میکنم این معجزه منیژه حکمت.
Not talking about the problem of the challenges that comes with being a woman. That's known for everyone across the world, especially in countries like ours. But other than that, every motivation that we got was from Manija Hikmat, the other director. She had the strongest of will to make this project happen because she wanted to showcase that belief and that side of the society itself. And there was no funding as such from any organization or the government or nothing. We had it done by our own money, little or more, from here or there, family, relative, friend. Those were the sources of fund of this movie. And that's how we did it because we strongly wanted, simply she wanted. And she mentioned that she gets the motivation from Manija Hikmat herself.
نه این فیلم، من 2 فیلم قبلی هم همینطوری کار کردم و خانم حکمت دقیقاً به همین صورت الان یه حدود 12 ساله که داره این نوع سینما رو میبره جلو و به نظر من اونم پرچمدار این مسیره، سینمای مستقلی که نه جونی داره نه حمایتی.
There are two types of, obviously there's one supported by the government, by the officials, by the organizations. That's one cinema. The other aspect is the independent cinema who's willing to have the truth that they want to express. And that is not supported. That's what they call is experimental independent cinema industry. And that is not supported by any other part. So again, she has been working with Manija Hikmat from past 12 years. And the other 2 movies that she's done also the same way. There's no, as in like, flow of funds coming in for these projects. But the strong will causes them to crowdfund or, I don't know, gather all the possibilities and make the movie.
Yes. Please.
Yes.
This is a rare film where we see only one character throughout the film. So how did you think of this idea? My other questions will follow. But nobody's asking. I just saw the face.
به نظر من خیلی وقتا قصه است که تعیین میکنه ساختار چه شکلی باشه. در واقع محتوا میگه فرم چه شکلی باشه. توی این قصه انقدر دنیای این آدم دنیاییه که روش مسلطه و دنیایی که برای خودش ساخته انقدر دنیای ایزوله‌ایه که هر موجودی به نظر میاد که توش اگر ورود کنه از یه مرزی به بعد اصلا امکانشو نداره.
So she says that the story is the base of a movie. So the story behind the life of this woman says it all. And only if the story of her life is portrayed in a right way, that gives all the aspects that they want to show. So that's the whole point of having one person as the main character, so that because that story of one life is representing lives of many others in the society, and there was no point in having many, but one which focuses on the important. And the story in the life of someone like that if you as a viewer see and put yourself in their shoe, you will see that after a certain point you cannot go further because it's that complicated and there's no clarity. So that shows one perspective, and it's from
We'll take a question. You have another. We'll come back to you, sir. Okay, we have a question from the gentleman over there.
My question is once again to Faiza, but first up, I'd like to say congratulations to both the directors whose films are in the international competition section. I'm actually asking the question to Faiza because I actually watched the film. The name of the film, and you touched upon it as well at the conference right now, is Fear and Trembling. But the protagonist of the film is nothing short of fear or trembling. Maybe she's physically trembling, but she's very firm in her beliefs. So what was the reason for naming the film in such a way and, going about in this form?
نظرش خیلی محکم بود ولی انقدر که تعصب براش رنج تولید کرد، انقدر تنها مونده و تنها و تنها و این تنهایی انقدر براش رنجاور و ترسناکه که توی دوراهیه که در نهایت این دوراهی تو بنبست قرار میگیره. در واقع میخواد که باور کنه که درست داره میگه، ولی نتیجه چیزی که داره میبینه اون چیزی نیستش که یه آدم دلش میخواد، یه انسان دلش میخواد.
The reason of the name is that, yes, right, she holds a very strong belief. She believes what she thinks is right. But what she thinks is one thing, and the outcome of the actions caused by the beliefs are not what she's happy with. She's constantly in fear of losing all the surroundings, but still she's pushing forward because of her beliefs. And that constant fear and the trembling of the losing someone and losing your faith comes along and combines one thing. So that's the whole perception of having this name.
Thank you. Okay.
Ma'am.
Hi, many congratulations to all of you for your films. It's a pleasure to have you here today. My question is to Ratislav. And so you mentioned the importance of authenticity in, portraying a film or a message through the medium of celluloid. But, especially in, I think, India, we have always looked at cinema traditionally as a mode of entertainment. It's, of course, a massive medium of art and a tool for social change. But somewhere, the idea of entertainment remains at its core. Do you think the need to be authentic or to take a story in its raw essence to the audience, sometimes it is, or maybe at odds with the need to entertain the audience, so to say?
Yes, I think this is a good question, especially for us in the Europe or Western civilization, because I think we are living commercial lives. I think we are in Europe losing our authenticity because of capitalism, very simply said, for consumption. And sometimes when I'm looking at this style of living, I think about the Rome Empire at the end, because when I'm going through my city, I see foreign cars, foreign clothes, and worse is that we have foreign ideas. So especially Slovakia, a very small country, was all history of my country influenced with other countries, other ideas. My country was part of socialist ideology. So For example, I am in India first time in my life, and I see this is complete different style of life. Sorry for my English, I can explain it better. But everywhere I see authenticity. No matter, I know that I am in Goa and somebody told me this is most commercial part of India. In spite that, I feel more authenticity in people, in their eyes, and in country than in my country. So I think this is thing about authenticity in my country or Western civilization is question of is existential question. I don't want to see when our civilization will end like Rome. Maybe I am pessimist, but yes, I am pessimist. So, so authenticity is very important. Though I think nobody should lose authenticity. We need to live authentic, no matter who we are. I think we will never must to live something what is not our personal, what we have in the hearts and souls. Yeah, thank you for the question.
I would like to add to it. In your film, you're trying to search the soul of the nation, as you said, and you have told about the Nazi and communist past of the Slovak nation. Yours is a young country. So, what are the aspirations of Slovakia's youth? What are the aspirations of the young generation in your country? In your
Expectations.
expectations,
Expectation.
aspirations. Yes.
What they want to want. Hope. What is that?
What they hope for?
Yes.
I think that the youngest generation live for
They're taking to the capitalist
yeah
things, consumerisms that
it's
is
consumerism
going
and
on.
American culture, style of life. I feel it that this influence of this style is huge. I think that I know many people who are clever and my students I'm teaching in film school. I see people who are strong enough to fight with this style of life, imported style of life. But I think most of population, especially young generation, are living for social social networks, illusions. They live for imported music. They have false dreams for me, very simple dreams, just based on consumptions. So so I think it is very important to find who you are, where you live, because when you will born somewhere, you will be connected forever with this country, and you cannot change it. You can move to other side of the planet, but you will never change your nation and your genes. So yes, I'm a little bit sad of youngest generation, because the problem is as well that we live in this how to say medias are everywhere around us. We are scrolling all day, we are watching YouTube. Everywhere are pictures, but these pictures are empty. It's not. We never live 60s where the film and cinematography has value, has true insight. So most of television production is rubbish. Sorry for my.
It's okay. Being honest.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
May I
Yes,
add?
please.
Again, about this fear and trembling. I think you have made a very strong social and political statement through this film. Do you agree? Because you have references regarding that no scarf for agitation, etc.
I agree with you.
It's a statement.
Yeah.
Then was there any political interference or political opposition from people in power to your project?
اه، سینما یا هر در واقع هر هنری که بشه باهاش حرف زد میتونه وسیله‌ای باشه برای اینکه آدم اعتراض کنه. اعتراض به هر چیزی، از خانواده‌ای که توش زندگی میکنی تا محله و شهر و بزرگتر، و این میتونه به خیلی چیزا تعمیم داده بشه، شاید خیلی بزرگتر از یه دولت.
Movie, media, any sort of publication can be a voice for a belief, an idea, or something which is true, which is not displayed. It could, which is a truth that is not displayed in the society. It could be a tool to raise your voice from your family. It could be a problem in your family. It could be in society. And that could oppose to anyone, any person, or even beyond a government. It could go beyond anything. So but that always comes with challenges. It obviously, any idea opposes at least one. It could be someone or another country, another government. So it comes with challenges, obviously.
Thank you. So a question for Gülizar from my side. It's a Turkish film, and in India, Turkish drama, Turkish movies are quite popular. There was a series called Love Knows No Boundary. So that became very famous because of Netflix and all. Okay, so, and it's a woman-centric film in India. Also, a lot of women-centric films are made. So I would like to know how about the popularity of Indian cinema in your country. Do people enjoy watching films from Bollywood and other regions of India?
Actually, in a way, it is good that Turkish series are that much famous all around the world. But for us, such as independent filmmakers, it is sometimes a pity that because it's not that much known in these countries, except the film festivals, of course. For Indian cinema, I'm not sure how much they know deeply about it, and it always happens to also Turkish cinema too. I know it's not that much old about Indian cinema, but when we travel some other countries and festivals, I see people mostly remember one film director, which you remember. It's easy to guess, Nuri Bilge Ceylan, and the rest I understand people knows no one, but there are lots of young emerging filmmakers, and it's sometimes burden on us. And I think it's the same with Iran, because in Iran also there are some famous filmmakers, and there are lots of young filmmakers trying to make it, and these voices are not that much strong enough. So for Indian cinema, I think it's the same. When you talk about it, of course, people will know about Satyajit Ray and some other filmmakers. But when it happens to new films, but I think, let me correct, one film this year was in Cannes. Am I right? Yes. From India, where the term light, all we imagine as light. Yes, if it happens in Cannes, then of course we will know about it better.
Okay, right. Okay, you had a question.
Yeah, I've had the privilege of watching all three films and loved all three films. We spoke yesterday a little bit. So I want to address my question to Belkis. In Gulizar, we see a young woman, very demure in the beginning, very silent in the beginning, and then there is a blow up and there's rage. In the past couple of years, we have seen films from Turkey and also Kosovo showing women with rage. Those are films that we have seen in festivals around the world. I want to ask you, because this is your debut film, what is the importance of showing a woman in rage on screen?
Yeah. In rage, you means
Angry, in rage.
Ah, okay. Let me first think a little bit, because for this portraying such character, she's trying to deal with her post-trauma after sexual assault. I think we usually get to see woman fights for freedom. In the end, she gains victory, but she's against society, and she's alone. I'm not that type of person. I like to portray characters who can be silent, but at the same time smart, because I think there is a conflict in, for example, in my country, if somebody is not that much talkative, people can think that he or she is not smart enough. But I think in the opposite way, because I think the silent people knows to observe everywhere more, knows where to speak and where to stop better than everyone. So Gülizar is a such character, but of course she has an anger, she has a fire inside, which you metaphorically seen at the end of the film. So I think for me, fragile people are very important to me, and I like portraying these characters in the screen.
Thank you. And with this, we have come to the end of the press conference. Thank you all for joining us, and thanks to the directors of films coming from 3 beautiful countries, Slovakia, Turkey, and Iran. Thanks a lot. Now,
Thank
from
you,
Press
everyone.
Information Bureau, we have a little token of appreciation for the 3 teams, for the directors and your team.